Hey everybody, welcome to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is Madcap 8 Moon. So in the past, I've played Madcap Moon. I've played a 12 Moon Blood Moon deck, which is pretty sweet. This is a little different. This is Madcap 8 Moon. So we have Madcap experiments, obviously with Platinum Empyreans. We have Magus of the Moons and Blood Moons and Force Simian Spirit Guides to power them out. And outside of that, it's just a sweet black-red deck. So we'll see how it goes here. Looks like our opponent's on Scapeshift, so Platinum Empyrean's going to be good. Don't necessarily want to draw it, but let's see what we can do here. And yes, sometimes you flip Platinum Empyrean to Dark Confidant, and it makes you cry. That is a known risk, so keep that in mind. But that's not the end of the world. Now, I don't know about how matchup Scapeshift is or not. We have a lot of discard in the deck. We haven't drawn any of it. I think we're probably even better off after sideboarding. But yeah, we'll see what we can do here. Obviously, resolving a Platinum Empyrean is the first thing, because then they have to shoot it down before they can kill anything else you do, you know? So we'll go ahead and just bolt this thing out of the way so we can attack for 2. This hand, though, is going to need some help, but luckily we do have Dark Confidant, which does tend to help. Really want some discard effects here. Yeah, you can just go ahead and play out this Dragon Skull Summit and pass the turn. Our opponent obviously is just going to ramp out Scapeshift or Primeval Titan very fast, so we really need to hit a discard spell. Really a Thoughtseize on our next one even, so we'll see. I like it better after sideboarding where we get access to Surgicals too, but we'll see. And then we have all these Blood Moons. I mean, obviously Blood Moon would also be great against the Valakut deck, so we'll see what we can do here. Definitely have a lot of answers, but I mean, we've drawn Platinum Empyrean on 2 lands, so that's not an ideal start here, but unless he has Simian Spirit Guide, there won't be a Primeval Titan this turn at least. Oh. Interesting. We've been Monvuli Acid Mossed. Interesting. I actually don't know what to make of that. That's really odd. Does that make him a Ponza player, or is it just a different Valakut list? I mean, Kolaghan's Command is not the world's best draw here. It's certainly not the worst. I guess I'll just pass. There's no need to make him discard when he has 4 cards in hand. I don't know what I'm looking at here, though. That threw me for a loop. It might just be Monvuli Acid Moss in a Valakut shell, but it might just be Ponza, which is, you know, ramped. It might be Ponza with Search for Tomorrows, which would be weird for that deck. So I'm not sure what to expect here. No, it's just a Scapeshift deck, I guess, and I guess we're just dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess that's 21 damage. That's interesting. And it's a pretty nutty draw for him. He killed us on turn 5 and had to do more than 18 damage to kill us on turn 5 even. It's pretty rough. Unlucky. Let's see what we can do in the sideboard here. We'll make him have it. Man, when your Blood Moon deck loses to Scapeshift, that feels bad. We actually just drew horrendously, so there's that. Oh, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a bunch of damage. All right, let's play the next game. Maybe it'll go a little better. It's kind of silly to have that happen. We really shouldn't. You know, it's just unlucky. But we do have good sideboard cards for it. Sideboard's got some fun ones. As you can see, we have Havoc Festival against Control, slower decks, kind of fun. So the Lilianas are good, the Maguses are good, the Kolaghan's Commands are not very good. Did I just move my entire deck up there? What? What just happened? Oh, okay. Well, this is going to be a little more complicated then. Interesting. I guess I had clicked select all and then somehow didn't click off of it. Whatever, I guess. So we want the surgicals. We want the Thoughtseize and Inquisitions. We want these. We want this. We want the Lilianas. Alright, now let's figure out what we don't want. Alright, Blood Moons, Magazines. We don't want the Anger of the Gods, obviously. I get this down to 62. The Lightning Bolts are probably not all that necessary. Yep, this looks good. I mean, it's a bunch of Blood Moons, and yeah, I mean, this is about what you want to play against to play against a Scapeshift deck. So, see if we get, now we know what we're up against, see if we get a little less unlucky than we did in the first one. Yeah, I'm keeping it. So our opponent mulled to 6 here. I can go turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 tap land, turn 3 Magus, turn 4 Plat. Yeah, that seems pretty good. That's certainly not easy for them to beat. Nice. Okay, well, he's got it Through the Breach and Thragtusk. So the thing I'd say we're most worried about is Through the Breach Emrakul here. If he sideboarded into that. Oh, I was just about to say, you know what I really want to draw? Some Thoughtseize. Love it. You can have the Thragtusk. And the Baloth. Don't want to give him the Through the Breach, though. So we're going to Bloodsay Mire Fetch for a basic Swamp. Play Magus of the Moon. What our deck will need to do here, which it has a hard time doing sometimes, is closing the game after we have our Platinum Empyrean in. But we get to keep him from casting any of his spells, so that helps quite a bit, huh? He's got a basic force in there, we know that, but that doesn't get him double green for the Baloth. Oh, he's got a bolt for it. Well, that's fine. That's why we have another. Slaughter Games, huh? Slaughter Games Scapeshift? Slaughter Games... I can't name Valakut, right? Can't name Valakut. I could just play Madcap here. And worst he does is get a Baloth, who cares? Sure. A little more mana efficient, I think. And it allows us to beat down, which is also important. So we'll... I don't know if we'll Slaughter Games here, or... Oh, he doesn't even have a land, alright. Get in for 8. I guess we just go ahead and play this out. No reason not to. Make him deal with these. Keeps him off the Baloth, which would help him quite a bit to stabilize, so. Alright, now we get in for 10 damage. Alright, I'm actually going to name... I'm going to cast this, and I'm going to name Through Breach, because I feel like that's the only thing that can actually beat us. Okay, he's going to scoop before he lets us see his deck, which is smart. Well, that's what we want. We want to just aggro them out, but we want to just, destroy them like that, where they don't really get to play much. That's what we want to do. That was a good hand for us, so we'll see if we get to do that in game 3 here. I mean, I feel good with the 7 discard spells and Surgicals to hopefully Surgical something away. The Slaughter Games, to name whatever. Now, we don't know if he sideboarded Through the Breach. So we know he has Through the Breach, and we know he has Scapeshift. The question is, does he have Emrakul? Because sometimes those decks run Emrakul on top of Primeval Titan, in case you do have things like Magus of the Moons and Blood Moons, which he now knows we have plenty of. So I suspect there will be, more hate for those things coming in. All in all, I still feel pretty good about the matchup here. I mean, we theoretically just have so much that shuts him down, and if he doesn't have enough basic forests, as you saw in that game, he can't even really play much. So that was a good one. We'll see where we go from here. We also ripped Thoughtseize off the top, which was very nice. I guess we don't know exactly what he has heading into game 3. He didn't know what we had in that game because he is obviously tanking a little bit here in the sideboard, trying to figure out what he's playing against. Yeah, we basically played Dark Confidant and nothing, so he probably just thought we were in Lightning Bolt. He probably just thought we were like a bad Jund deck. Because I'm trying to remember what he saw. He saw Lightning Bolts, Dark Confidant, and there was a Kolaghan's command. Yeah, we just had nothing in that game. So you saw Lava Claw Reaches, thought we just had a bad mana base for Jund, I guess. So that makes a little bit of sense. Doing it. This hand looks pretty sweet, actually. Turn 1, discard. Turn 2, Bob. Turn 3, something, hopefully. Looks like he's going to have a Search for Tomorrow suspended. Well, don't think the Blood Moons are going to be quite as... He can obviously play... He'll have more basics this game. That's a nice 3. Alright, let's see what he's working with. Okay. Lands an Obstinate Baloth, I accept. Liliana can take care of the Obstinate Baloth. Oh, we don't want to make him discard, right? That's a clause on this thing. Yes, it is. Good to remember, as it turns out. Gosh, I really might have just slammed that Liliana on turn 3 too. So I guess we'll save Liliana, I guess, and make him sack a thing. I'm just gonna Thoughtseize him next turn. See where we draw to. Might be able to Blood Moon him. Although Blood Moon does basically nothing right now. Sure, you got a Baloth. Well, that's fine. We can play Liliana and kill the Baloth now. And what else did he have? Just a Valakut that we know about, I think. So. Alright, well. Unless we hit a land in our next 2 draws, we won't be able to Madcap next turn necessarily. But we're still in a pretty good position here. I'd really like him to play the Valakut in case we draw a Crumble to Dust. Yeah. Alright, so we really want to land here. In one of these 2 draws. We did not get it. Unfortunate. I can Thoughtseize. I can either Thoughtseize or play a Blood Moon effect this turn. I kind of want to Thoughtseize. Because I'm more worried about... Yeah, it's kind of awkward that we're not doing much else here, but I'm more worried about Primeval Titan than anything else. And we can really wreck his... Okay, through the breach. All right. Alright, we'll discard a card. Don't think we're going to need this Madcap experiment. Alright, so hopefully we can just run this Liliana plan against them. As long as our Bob doesn't kill us. But we can always make ourselves sack a creature. The Blood Moon doesn't really lock him out, unfortunately. So he's got a mountain and an unknown right now. Oh, he's got a mountain and a wood foothill, so that's good for us. And as long as we don't die to our own Bob here. Okay, good. We finally drew a land off of one. Do I even want to play the Blood Moon? I almost want to just slaughter games like Primeval Titan or something. I won't, though. Actually, I think I'm just going to discard the Lava Claw Reaches. I can see maybe needing multiple Blood Moons this game, but we're not going to need... You know what? I'm just going to slaughter games. Well, he'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which allows him to, yeah, that would kill us. So I'm just going to slaughter game Scapeshift so nothing weird happens. We won't die to it next turn, and then we can Madcap. Okay, so let's see what he had here. So there were no Emrakuls. Oh, there are Emrakuls. Okay, so there's Emrakuls and Through the Breaches. But given that he now has no hand and we're getting rid of his Scapeshifts, he basically needs a Primeval Titan. So yeah, as long as he doesn't rip Primeval Titan off the top this turn, I think we're good. And if he does, we're not dead, just hurt. So, well, no, we actually probably would be dead, huh? Because he'd kill our Liliana. I guess, yeah, I mean, yeah, Primeval Titan would probably kill us. So just dodge Primeval Titan and we're good here. That's what the conclusion I've come to. You know what? Is that even true though? Because Primeval Titan would only put him up to 5 mountains, so it actually doesn't even matter. And the Sakura Tribe Elder sure doesn't matter. Okay. Whew! Revealed the mountain, luckily, not the Platinum Empyrean. Yeah, we'll go ahead and attack. He'll block, do his thing. I want to play Madcap here and just fade the fight for the Primeval Titan one more turn. So that's what I'm going to do, because it kills him in 2 turns. I think it's worth it. Go ahead and plus. Get rid of our Thoughtseize here. Not going to need that. So yeah, as long as it's not Primeval Titan off the top of his deck, I think the game's over. Wait, did he... Okay, yeah. So yeah, we should be good here. Did he even get something with this? I thought he had that amount before. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Alright, we'll hit him for 8. This was a sweet match, and we got soundly wrecked in game 1. But came through here in game 2. We have lethal on the board, so I'll just play the Blood Moon. That's the harder one to interact with. Discard this Madcap. And pass the turn. Alright. We got there. That was a good match, really. It shows exactly the sort of, that's exactly what we want to do. Good games. Nice matches. Black Red 8 Moon. Get there. Madcap 8 Moon.